Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Tuesday's video. Very much Marvel Contest of Champions meets a little bit of MCOC. And the fact is, what we're going to do is look at the state of the battle realm. I didn't do an updated puzzle video, and with a lot of changes that seem to be coming with cross-game working of characters and potentially some characters going from one game to the other, it's important to have a look at these kind of things in an updated puzzle type video, as well with a new theory, a new couple of theories. So let's have a look at this. So slap my face with a DeLorean and let's go back in time. This was my previous puzzle put together. And there's a few things, obviously, if you didn't watch that video, I'll put a link in the description. But just to kind of catch you up, there's a few theories of where I put Elsa Bloodstone, which is difficult to pinpoint where Kabam do the linking of question marks. And when you think that they're associated with placement, a lot of the times, they're not. Also, a lot of things change with the introduction of Marvel Realm of Champions, which is what is taking up the supermassive black hole for those Muse fans among you. And with that supermassive black hole removed, it now leaves us with a supermassive question, and that is, where and how do we link into Marvel Realm of Champions? Well, first and foremost, shout out to Marvel Contest of Champions TrueCost, because this is a decent graphic that kind of explains where Marvel Realm of Champions has these certain, well, champions. So you got Stark Prime, Madam Web, Scar, Peggy Carter, War Thor, Ancient One, Queen Shuri and Apocalypse, all filling up the 8 markers and I believe the 8 houses that are in the center. However, though, with a just bog standard character that you get to customize from a gearing system idea, the fact is it kind of puts a lot of the outer characters there and maybe a few red herrings. But also, we do have to bear in mind we have to open up portals or open up gates and doors in order to have this link and go from MCOC to MCOC. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos building between the gaps and as well more story aspect, then you'll know that it was dropped that there will be characters that will link between one game and the other, and you may even find that some characters that are in Marvel Realm of Champions will actually be built in Contest of Champions. So now let's begin our journey of self-discovery to try and find out which one of these various champions, whether or not it's from the Marvel lore or the MCOC lore, and not to mention the newly created MCOC lore, which we don't really know much about, can open the portals for interdimensional, interreality travel. It's a thing. Let's find out. Let's start our journey off on the Marvel Contest of Champions forums, because back on September 20th, 2019, they put the future of the battle realm, which was an image of the progression of 6 months, which would largely take us to March 2020. But does that mean that Marvel Realm of Champions will be released on the 20th of March 2020? I think the answer is a resounding no, especially if you look at the release schedule of some of these houses. At the moment, it looks like once a month there is a new house banner and explanation and just background to the lore and structure to that particular house, which is going to mean that if we're looking at a potential release date, it doesn't put us to anything close to early summer, and more than likely, if we hazard a guess, 20th of August 2020. Now you might be thinking I've gone off on a tangent, but it is all relative to the next part of this story. Timelines, dates, and what Kabam have an idea for. Now we all know that Act 6.3 has recently gone in, so expect Act 6.4 and the completion of Act 6 is going to be largely put in at the start of the year, maybe even like March time, and it could come in conjunction with that 6-month period that Kabam were talking about. Now if you keep up to date with Marvel Contest of Champions news, you'll know that we saw this, which has the tease of Galactus being something that needs to be summoned or is going to be summoned. This becomes incredibly important when you're talking about things like anomalies in game and maybe portals being opened. Galactus could actually be one of those characters, as well as a few that we're going to discuss now, that could be entered into game in order to open up the portals, then have this link as well as a travel option between Marvel Realm of Champions and Marvel Contest of Champions. The other kind of slight theory in this is that there could be some sort of reality warping, and especially what we think to be normal reality, which is the Marvel Contest of Champions Battle Realm. In fact, what the other reality could be is Marvel Realm of Champions. There's a lot of things between time, relativity, and other things that kind of smush together and make us really think about the story structure and lore surrounding what Kabam have created around this Marvel universe, multiverse type thing. Yes, it does mess with one's mind. But the fact is, the list here of potential reality warpers could be something that we could see. Living Tribunal and Death have some kind of linking together with Marvel Contest of Champions from the comic book side of things, and I think as well with what could be put in. But it isn't more on the Secret Wars side of things, where it's something that the game seems to, and both games seems to go down the route of. But I do feel there's something that could be entered in an MCOC, which could open up the portal, and that could be a character like Wiccan, or even Galactus, as we've said. But, and shout out to Jeff on Twitter for saying this, because Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, could play some part in this. And I've even seen people even call out for that character to be added into the game. Also, Wiccan. In my opinion, it just seems too easy to be Galactus, and I'd like to see something different be the character that opens up the portal. And especially because there could be two options for this, I do like the idea of Doctor Strange Ancient One, because of the extent of power that he has and what his potential could be. It's going to be a case his powers are going to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest. I just thought it would be a good option for him to be opening up from the center of Marvel Realm of Champions to the outside. But also, I'd love to see him on MCOC. I just like the design. I think it's like one of the best I've seen as a variant for Doctor Strange. But the idea that that character could open up the portal from the inside, but also how it could link to the outside. Franklin Richards. Because at the end of the day, we haven't really seen a younger character be put into game, especially, I'd say kind of Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan is young, but imagine having someone that's a lot younger that's able to like kick the butt of Thor, or maybe like another type of character. It's just going to be quite surreal. But I would like the idea of that being put in, especially considering the extent of power the character has and how it can really work between branching out the story from the end of Act 6 and as well like starting off something with Act 7, and also with the way they go with events, and obviously finishing off this year, which would end it on a question mark and lead into further structure to then open stuff up for Marvel Realm of Champions. I also like interesting tie-ins like Abraxas, and the fact that needing him to resurrect Galactus in order to take on this character is something that could be said with these anomalies or other things in the story aspect. But obviously Kabam will go down their route with how they want to portray that particular story. Also, do bear in mind we haven't seen a return of the Skrulls, and a secret invasion could be something that we may see in the coming years. So having that character already introduced for some sort of future thing with Secret Invasion, Fantastic Four, could be a nice kind of linking story. Could be quite fun. But also, I don't want to write off the potential for the Living Tribunal making some sort of appearance, especially being one of those major factors in like elders or the beings that sit above us, like Eternals and things like that. But also don't want to rule out the opportunity for Death to make some sort of appearance in the game, but I don't know if that's a bit too kind of like morbid for the for Kabam to put in there. Either way, I don't want to rule it out. One character I think that factors in very well, especially to the second portal. If the first portal to the right is the Galactus one, then the one to the left, or say opening up the link to go in and being close to mutants, could be Wiccan. And I do like the idea of this character being put in because we haven't seen any kind of good explanation or kind of work towards sexuality in Marvel Contest of Champions, except for Kabam have recently said that Iceman in this type of creation is actually gay, which is good to see, but at the same time it would be nice to see a bit more, and I think Wiccan starts the kind of the ball rolling with putting in more of these type of characters, so that would be good to see, and this is a character that I really hope, because it's going to be a really powerful character if Kabam do him justice. And finally, where am I up to with thoughts? Now, some things have changed, but at the same time there is still opportunity. So even though we've got some kind of apocalypse-based character going into Marvel Realm of Champions, I don't dispute the fact that maybe there could be something that could work quite well in MCOC. However, though, when it comes to portal openers, and let's face it, we've got two, who has the potential to do that? Now, as I said, being so close to kind of the mutant side of things without kind of giving anything away that could be Scarlet Witch as being a son or daughter could pinpoint that to be Wiccan. But at the same time, you have to look at the comic book history side of things and whether or not Mephisto has and plays a hand in the kind of implementation of that character being in MCOC. So could you say that that question mark is that character? Is Kabam putting a red herring? More than likely, because they don't want to give away too much. But the fact is, could Galactus be the one character that could link everything together, opening up portals? More than likely. But we do have to look at the fact that everything is very close to things like the Fantastic Four. And again, if they kind of put a link off from Reed Richards and Invisible Woman, would this necessarily give away the fact that this could be a son or could be a different type of reality version of Reed Richards? But I like the idea of a younger character being portrayed and putting in MCOC and just like kicking the butt of everything. Imagine like Sentinel having its butt kicked by like a kid. It just seems like that would be like a cool and weird thing at the same time. Either way, I don't know what your thoughts are on this and who could unlock the portals and who some of these question marks are based on what could be happening in the coming weeks and months. But I'm sure I'll have to do another video like this very, very soon. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.